Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. Before we get started, smash the like button, subscribe to the page, share with a friend. Any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. I'm going to pretty much put this to bed right now. I did this once before. Might have been last year. I think I did it, but I'm gonna talk about it again because I saw somebody. I think it might have been on YouTube, and then the whole whatchamacallit that they got with the TikTok crap and whatnot. And I'm listening to these cats. These cats probably in their 20s or whatever the case may be, and talking about how talking about Rob Gronkowski, the greatest tight end, this, that, and the other. I've even heard Shannon Sharp say some things, which is kind of like, I don't know. I look at it as a little bit of nut riding, but I'm like, I put this to bed real easy and whatnot. You see, this is the thing. This is where I have issues with this right here. They'll talk about the Mount Rushmores of tight ends and Gronkowski and what he did. Rob Gronkowski is a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question. Big guy could do his thing. He was like that. But the thing that I think draws people to Rob Gronkowski, if you know anything about the history of a lot of football and stereotypes, right? Gronkowski, even his name, fits the stereotype of the big jock. I'm not going to call him a dumb jock, the big dumb jock, but I highly doubt that Gronkowski, not no dumb dude, is an intelligent cat. Love his game. Always loved his game. He played. He was a hell of a teammate and whatnot. Fun-loving guy and stuff like that. Spike the ball and all this other kind of stuff like that. But he's like that guy that they call, I don't know, Biff, or the guy, I don't know, Moose that was with the Archies and whatnot. He reminds you of that guy, square jaw, big dude, supposed to be good-looking dude and everything like that. And he was the epitome of a jock. I think one time Herman Edwards once described him, say, a clumsy, athletic type tight end. Now, the where I have a problem, and then you got Travis Kelce over here doing the things that he's doing and whatnot. I'll tell you my Mount Rushmore as of right now, because obviously Mount Rushmore's it's of the Mount Rushmore of tight ends. People have Mount Rushmores, and it's hard that when you do this, because you have to really do this when these guys are finished playing. But for shits and giggles, my Mount Rushmore, Kellen Winslow, Gonzo, and then we can go Gronk and Kelce. I got this thing about Shannon Sharp. When Shannon Sharp was a tweener at the time, if Shannon Sharp was playing nowadays, he'd be a straight up wide receiver. All right, because at that time, you like 6'2", 225, around 228, 230, or whatever. He was a tweener, so he was a small tight end, but he would be, if he was a receiver, he'd be a big ass receiver. So they put him at kind of at that, because tight end 245, 250 or something like that. But he was like 230, right? And he played what he played. And I said this before, the disrespect they treat Tony Gonzalez like he's potted meat. It's like they overlook somebody who played 17 years in the game. And if I'm not mistaken, he has all the records and everything like that for the tight end. When we look at Rob Gronkowski's career, he's a 4-time All-Pro, a 5-time Pro Bowler. 2011, when he was 22. Now you look at Travis Kelce, they're the same age, but Kelce wouldn't come into the league until 3 years later. Gronkowski from 11, 12, his years 11, 12, 14, 15, and 17. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 1,000-yard seasons. He has 3 rings. All that's documented. He, in 2016, basically missed 10, 11 games. Right? Come back 2017 at age 28. That was his last first team All-Pro and all that stuff like that or whatever. Pro Bowl. Right? Missed about 5 or 6 games due to injury. Retired in 2019, came back, got a ring, and then came back the next year thing to get a ring. Had a good season even in 2021 at the age of 32. Because I saw a thing where it's like, if Rob Gronkowski came to the Patriots, he would be the best offensive player on the team if he came back right now. Which, looking at the score, because I actually picked New Orleans to actually beat. Picked New England actually beat New Orleans because I said I can't see a Belichick team going 1-3 or 1-4. That's happening. So it might be time for Belichick to hang it up. He got nobody over there. Mac Jones is not the answer. Mac Jones had that lucky season, like a lot of rookies can end up having, because you ain't got no film on him. But as time goes on, it is what it is. Now, it's not taking anything away from Gronk. When it's all over, said and done with, numbers wise, Travis Kelce. Now they're talking about, well, Gronk blocked, he did that. I really don't care, because blocking is not something that is in these guys' stats, because at the end of the day, these guys are receivers. Kelce is an 8-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champ, and he's on the 2010 decade team. He's probably second team to Gronk, probably, more than likely. You're looking at somebody who, from 2015, 2016, he's playing with Alex Smith at this time when he starts making his bones. Then old boy comes in 2018, and that's just a whole nother level, right? You're looking at somebody that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1,000-yard seasons. 7. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Been to 8 Pro Bowls? I'm not going to talk about how many times that he's a 4-time All-Pro first team and probably about 3 or 4 times second team. Because Kittle's had his little time up in there too. Kittle's another nice tight end. Edwards for the Baltimore Ravens, another nice tight end. A lot of good tight ends in the game now. No tweeners, these guys, big guys and stuff like that. I go back and always go back to what Mike Dicker said, another Hall of Fame tight end. He said, and I quote, when I used to watch ESPN, one of the few times I actually did that. He said basically in 2010, 2011, he said, once this kid realizes that they can't hit him, he's going to dominate. You're talking about somebody who's like, 6'6", 270? Wide receivers and tight ends can run and play Nintendo and play skip to my Lou across the middle, because defensive backs and linebackers can't lay their ass out no more and intimidate them, because it would draw a flag. So he can't. So once they can't do that, it's easy. Who want to fuck with this guy? Who want to even touch this guy at 6'6", 270? He's the size of a goddamn tackle and the speed of a tight end. And then Kelce, who's not as big, but he is a big guy. You look at somebody who's 6'5", 256, 6'5", let's say 260. But he's a tight end. He's a tight end. He's a wide receiver in a tight end's body. Right? And that's why he does what he does and has the yards that he has. So I'm not taking nothing from Gronkowski and Travis Kelce, but I think one of the things that pisses me off, anytime I hear a Mount Rushmore of tight ends and they talk about tight ends, it's like, this guy right here, it's not even mentioned. How do you not mention Gonzo? Tony Gonzalez? Kelce is playing with a future Hall of Famer. Gronk has played with Tom Brady his whole fucking entire life. How do you sit up there I'll dare anybody who sees this, name Tony Gonzalez quarterbacks who he played with. Gonzalez had he had 4,000-yard seasons. 3. The 900-yard seasons is ridiculous, based on his first one, 2001 at age 25, 2003 at age 27. Fuck it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 900-yard seasons. 3 1,000-yard seasons. Take that back. 4 1,000-yard seasons. 5 900-yard seasons. When Rob Gronkowski last Pro Bowl in first team was at age 28. At age 28. At age 28 for Tony Gonzalez, at age 28, he had caught 102 balls, 1,258 yards receiving. His last Pro Bowl first team All-Pro season was 93 balls, 930 yards, and 8 touchdowns as a tight end at age 36. Rob Gronkowski isn't even 36 years old right now. He's basically done at 28, 29 years old. And y'all don't want to sit up there and talk about what Tony Gonzalez brought to the game. Like I said, Kellen Winslow, Gonzo. Now, people say Kellen Winslow, go back between Ed Coryell, Joe Gibbs, and that night in the 78, 79, them 80 Chargers. Better go back and look at that offense, man. Because you're looking at a quarterback who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, Charlie Joyner, another first ballot possession receiver Hall of Famer, and Kellen Winslow, first ballot wide receiver. Tight end. If John Jefferson stayed there, you would have your whole receiving core in the Hall of Fame as first ballot Hall of Famers. Charlie Joyner, I think maybe, I don't know if he went in first, but he's a Hall of Fame. John Jefferson, I talked about that and whatnot, 3 years. He put in another 3 years like he did his first 78, 79, and 80, and you go like 81, 82, 83. 6 years of what he did the first year, I'm like first ballot Hall of Fame, no doubt. Should have at least won Super Bowl. Their offense was that potent. If you want to go look up, all you got to do is go to YouTube. Now, like I said, but Gonzo is like, he stepped aside. It's like nobody talks about them. A lot of great tight ends from Antonio Gates, Jason Witten, right? These guys are prototypical type tight ends that did that thing. And they're talking about, oh, yeah, he played like the basketball and stuff like that. Gonzalez did this. Who was his quarterback? Who did he have? Trent Green? Not to throw no shade at Trent Green. Come on, man. He had no quarterback. I said this before. If Tony Gonzalez plays with Brady for 17 years, what we talking about, man? What we talking about? Travis Kelce. Look at Travis Kelce's. Ever since with Mahomes, he's been to 1, 2, 3 first team All Pros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 straight, 5 from 2018 to 2022. That's 5 straight Pro Bowls and 3 first team All Pro first teams. And he has the record of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1,000-yard season. Come on, man. And y'all want to sit up there and don't put Gonzo on the Mount Olympus? You want to put him on Ilion? And these are because I see these young cats on TikTok talking this shit because they like the Biff, the Gronkowski, the Spike. You know, that's fine. But in the end of the day, it still comes down to numbers. And Gronkowski started being a walking mass unit after age 28. He was doing that before then because the time that he missed time was because of injuries. Kelce is steady. First time he missed a game since 2013, his rookie year at 24. And by the way, go back and check that Kelce but by Jason Kelsey. Joint on is on Amazon. Really good, a really good a show about the Kelsey brothers and whatnot, where they come from, the humble beginnings and whatnot, and even talk about Travis Kelsey and his some of the things that he went through and whatnot, some of the hiccups that he had and whatnot. Hey man, really good thing. I suggest you check it out. And his brother going down is probably one of the better centers in the game. He's probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame. Not enough love is given to his father, from what I see. But that's a whole nother story within itself. You know, they push this mother shit and don't push the shit, the father agenda and the fathers and shit there. And you'll see what I'm talking about if you go back and look at it. Why ain't nobody talking about Tony Gonzalez? Why? Kellen Winslow redid the whole position. Even going back to Dick, what's his name? Mike Ditka. This man here, I mean, come on, man. You serious? And Gronkowski was basically done at age 28. Yeah, he came back and 31 played, 31, 32. He retired. He sat down for a season. Tony Gonzalez played 17 freaking years. I'm sorry, 17 years. He made All-Pro first team at age 36, 4 years from 40 fucking years old. What other tight end has done that? Kelsey is the closest, but Kelsey has so many fucking numbers. By the time Kelsey turns 36, he's probably going to call it a fucking day. And even if he decides to go further, he ain't going to do nothing but add to his lore. So when you sit up there and talk about these guys and shit like that, man, you better recognize the fucking game, man. You got to recognize the game. Gronkowski gets everything he gets. But Gronkowski had 4 or 5 years, and I said this, and he got 3 rings. Kelsey has 2. Gonzalez has 0 rings. But when you talk about the numbers and what Gonzalez did with no quarterback, Shannon Sharp played with John Elway, probably one of the best arms in the game. Tom Brady, enough said. Patrick Mahomes, come on, man. No other guy played with good quarterback, whether it was Phillip Rivers for Antonio Gates or Tony Romo for that of Jason Witten. And you're going to sit up there and you don't want to mention Tony Gonzalez? Young boys don't know what the fuck they talking about, man. They have no clue what they're talking about. They're all enamored with the spike and him being Biff. Now, like I said, you know, and I'm like, that again, with Gronk, take nothing, but Gronk started being a walking mass unit, and everybody knows that. He was his last great year was at 28 years old. He had some good seasons at the end, but at the end of the day, he still wasn't that guy. Tony Gonzalez at age 36 in year 16 made first team All-Pro and made the fucking goddamn Pro Bowl. And caught 93 passes for 930 yards and 8 touchdowns. What else is he supposed to do? Kelsey, when it's all over said and done with, numbers-wise, and that's really all that matters, numbers-wise, he's going to go down as the greatest tight end ever played the game. Let him fuck around and win another ring. It's curtains. You can talk that shit about Gronk all you want. If Kelsey win, even if he doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, but let's just say he wins another ring. There's nothing else to talk about. Gronk ain't got them kind of numbers. Kelsey is 34. Gronk is 34 years old. Is 32 years old. I'm sorry. Yeah. 34. And Gronk is 34 years old right now. And he's not playing. He didn't play 2023 and he's not playing 2024. He's still playing. And still has an opportunity to still end up fucking around with another 1,000-yard season, even though he did miss a game because first time since 2013. And just think what happened when the Chiefs offense get to going and he starts waylaying on these motherfuckers again and fuck around and get another 1,000-yard season. Then what? I've already told you what he had. and you're going to try to put him above that because he played with Brady and he has 3 rings? You got to still play your position. Who had the better career? The numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. So don't tell me nothing about that. Again, Mount Rushmore right now. Mount Rushmore, because that's why I say there is no GOAT. Because as long as time is still going on, someone has the ability and the capability to possibly go up and above what you consider the greatest, still has an opportunity to sit up there and do that to break any records. And right, Kelsey has completely rewritten everything about a tight end. And even with that, he still got to catch Gonzo. He's still got to catch Gonzo. Gonzo, let's just do it. You're talking about somebody with what? 1,325 receptions, 15,127 yards, 11.4 yard average, and 111 touchdowns. Now, Gronk had a nice touchdown. Kelsey, as of right now, Kelsey has what? 71 touchdowns. Gronk has a lot of touchdowns. Give it to him. But Gronk ain't playing no more. If he does, he ain't going to get that. That belongs to Gonzo. So let's stop acting like Gonzo is chopped liver when he played with all them guys that I talked about has Hall of Fame quarterbacks. What Hall of Fame quarterback does Gonzo have? I'll wait. List his Hall of Fame quarterback down below. He had Matt Ryan for 5 years in his prime. Now, is Matt Ryan a real Hall of Famer? After last year, I don't think so. But a nice quarterback nonetheless. That might have been his best quarterback for his last 5 years in the league. From age 33 to 37. In all the years that he was in Atlanta, with the exception of 2009, he made the Pro Bowl. And one of them years, he's the best tight end that ever came in Atlanta Falcons history. He's the best tight end in Atlanta Falcons history. That's how dominant he is, and he's neck to neck, literally, with that of Travis Kelce in Kansas City history. But you're going to talk about Gronkowski? Heck, come on, man, stop it. Gonzalez, 14-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and about 4 or 5 goddamn. He's probably been named All-Pro 10 times and 6-time first team. So I don't want to hear anything else. Somebody hear this? You share it with these jokers, some of these young boys up out here, and we have that little debate. And I tell you why. But the numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. Don't tell me you ain't gonna sit up there and bring up Tony Gonzalez up in this, who ain't had no real quarterback. Like I tell you guys all the time, there is no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time as long as time is still going on. And numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. I'll probably be back later. If not later today, it'll be tomorrow. I'm going to do an ode to the great Dick Buckets, who passed away, I think Friday. If I'm not mistaken, it was Friday. He passed away. And that's the crunch course. Crunch course. That's how football is to be played. People may have an issue with that, and I'll break down to them why it's supposed to be played that way. And that's why Dick Buckets is known as one of the greatest defensive players that ever played. And it's a shame. And I talked about this before. Him and Gale Sayers came out in the same first rounders in the same year, I think 64, 65. And George Hallis never put anything around that team. He still want to play Monsters of the Midway. And he squandered those guys' talent. And even with them squandering them guys' talent, those guys still went up and beyond the call of duty to do what they had to do to play on them sorry ass teams. I don't think either one of them guys even went to the playoffs. Ever. I may come back later to do it today. If not, I'll be doing it tomorrow. Rest in peace to the great Dick Buckus. He is what epitomized when you look at the crunch course films of the NFL films of the mid to late 80s. And that's what football is all about. You know, like I tell you guys all the time, I say it again, there is no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time, long time still going on. And you guys have a good one. And hey man, we get back at you. You guys have a good one.